Joining us now is OG Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Well, good morning, Dr. Patti. How are you?
Or you prefer Ojinika?
Well, it's my name. Yes. That's what you always say. We are all marching today, except for Tundu. What happened to you?
You guys all went behind my
back.
Yes.
No, there's nothing wrong in being different.
You take pride in that, don't you?
I do.
Well,
how are you?
You look great. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Dodgy.
You look great, too.
Morning. Thank you.
Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, the British Museum on Monday announced that it would display what it says is the world's oldest surviving map of the cosmos in a major upcoming exhibition on the Stonehenge Stone Circle. The 3,600-year-old Nebra Sky disk, which was first discovered in Germany in 1999, has never been displayed in the country. In the United States, tributes continue to pour in for Colin Powell, the trailblazing soldier and diplomat who died on Monday from complications of COVID-19. He was 84 years old, a veteran of the Vietnam War. Powell spent 35 years in the Army and rose to the rank of 4-star general before becoming the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Well, I became friends with Colin Powell, who we just lost. Think of where Colin Powell is, not only a dear friend and a patriot, one of our great military leaders and a man of overwhelming decency. This is the guy born son of immigrants in New York City, raised in Harlem in the South Bronx, graduated from City College in New York. And he rose to the highest ranks not only in the military, but also in areas of foreign policy and statecraft.
In Lebanon, Hezbollah leader Saeed Hassan Nasrallah declared for the first time on Monday that his powerful militant group has 100,000 trained fighters. His speech appeared to be a deterrent to domestic foes following the nation's worst internal violence in years. Under sports, a 67-year-old pilot, David Henderson, pled guilty to one charge over the death of football star Emiliano Sala, who was killed on a stormy trip when his light aircraft crashed in the English Channel. Henderson admitted that he was the operator when his plane took payment for Salah to fly without permission or authorization from outside Britain. Finally, under entertainment, Netflix's biggest original series, Squid Game, is reported to be worth an estimated $900 million, according to Bloomberg. The 9-episode thriller, which cost $21.4 million to produce, became an international hit when it launched last month. The series is the first Korean drama to snatch the top spot on Netflix in the United States. Well, let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday, in a message to mark Eid-ul-Maulud celebration, claimed that insecurity is declining and advised the media to revise their narrative when reporting security challenges in the country. In the statement issued by presidential spokesman Garba Shehu, the president was quoted as saying that the time has come for the media to revise the prefixes rising insecurity with declining insecurity. The president also called on citizens to commend and encourage security agencies in order to ensure lasting peace in the country. I mean, it's so incredible that with that damning report, only yesterday from the Wall Street Journal, we get this type of statement. Tundu Abiola.
As well as the massacre in Sokoto just after that statement, yes, it is quite shocking. But as I was saying about this earlier, I'm not Dr. Abati, whose pet peeve in life is telling the media how to do their jobs. Oh, he hates it. He hates it. But even I bristled at that statement. Yeah. If you're even going to put such a statement out, you need to have some kind of empirical evidence to back it up. You need to have the stats that show. You cannot simply ask people to report this or that. You have to show that that insecurity is declining. And there's no empirical evidence. We'll go with our anecdotal evidence. I still don't feel safe to hop in a car and take a cross-country trip with my children in Nigeria today. And that, for me, is one of the benchmarks that I'm using. The government should give us facts and figures to back what they want the press to report. Otherwise, what is the point of having a free press, if at all we have one? Because the press did also duly report the story in Kaduna where 10 bandits were killed. So that's a plus for our fight against banditry or whatever you want to call it, insurgency, terrorism. But you also have the duty, the sacred duty, I might add, to just report the facts as they are.
Accurately.
Yes.
I mean, reporting it by saying it's declining doesn't whisk the insecurity challenges we have in our nation away. Dr. Abati.
I said earlier, I tried to justify the position that has been taken by the presidency to say that the duty of government is always to give people hope. But giving people hope, does that justify lying to the people? Because if you want to give people hope, then you place it on substance. This morning, we talked about Gurunyo, where some people say 30, 40, 43 persons, were, killed by bandits. Now, can you go to Gurunyo Gada Federal Constituency and tell the people that insecurity is declining? The parents of about 1,000 students who have been kidnapped, some of them released, some of them died, some of them never returned, between December 2020 and August 2021. Can you sit them down and tell them that don't talk about rising insecurity, talk about declining insecurity? Even the Nigerian Defense Academy was attacked. Now, only yesterday we were talking about an anti-aircraft gun that the Nigerian Air Force, according to the Wall Street Journal, had to negotiate, pay ransom to get back. Okay, the Nigerian Air Force denies that, says it is fake news, it is misinformation. But whoever hears that is also likely to say, well, there isn't any declining insecurity in Nigeria. What do you say to parents whose words are sent to go and serve in certain parts of the country, and they will say, no, my daughter or my son is not going to that part of the country because it is not safe? Will you tell such persons that, insecurity in Nigeria is declining? Or even the people of Lekki here in Lagos, which is supposed to be one of the most protected parts of Lagos, where we hear now that it could be risky for you to move about anyhow.
Yes,
do you note that? Because the stories are out there. You don't just go about like smallpox in some parts of Lagos. You could be captured and kidnapped.
I actually don't go out, Dr. Abati, so I don't know.
I'm just making a comment. So this is the issue, that we are all faced with. But what is the expectation of Nigerians? The best way to give the people of Nigeria hope is to make sure that, look, they are safe. Security and welfare of the people, Section 14 of the Constitution. You may say it's not justiciable, but it's something that is fundamental to the realization of the larger objectives under Chapter 4 of the Constitution. However, two major messages passed across by the President. One, that we should all continue to motivate and encourage security people. In other parts of the world, I must have cited this example before. When you see a soldier or a Marine, show up in a public place, people stand up and they clap because they appreciate the fact that these are the people who are making the sacrifice. I would also like to see a situation in Nigeria where we do not see our uniformed people, whether they are in immigration or in the police or in the military, and people will just say, oh, these people again, right? The president is also saying that, look, there should be increased collaboration and cooperation within the community in terms of assisting these security agents. Yes, government has said that repeatedly, that security in Nigeria is a collective responsibility, and I think that is important. As to the president teaching journalists how to do their job, I think Tundu has already addressed that. It's always very easy to blame the messenger. As journalists, we're just messengers, working, serving on behalf of the people, and making sure that we provide information.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Rufai, your analysis on this topic. Right?
So there used to be a famous Yoruba broadcaster. He's late now. His name is Kola Wole Olawuyi. He would always say this: "Eniba konlomo nkambe." What it means is if it hits you, that's when you know.
Yes.
But there is something happening. That was his famous straight line. Truth is, the country is not safe. And I think this approach is very Trumpian. What you're saying invariably is that the journalist should put a spin my interpretations are very wrong. Just like the way I interpreted that the president said with conditions, Twitter would be, the ban will be lifted. Has it been lifted today?
No.
Was I not right that day?
I was right
Good.
too.
And you were right too. So this is my interpretation of this. So my interpretation of this is that you are saying we should spin it. But please, by reporting to Nigerians that have flesh and blood in them, if there are good things being done by the military, we report it. If there's insecurity, we report it too. Just like the time we reported that, what's his name, the ISWAP leader was killed. I forget his name now. Banawi. We reported it and we celebrated the military when it happened.
Absolutely.
And we said, in fact, I remember, we further said that's because of the operation going on in the Northeast. But people are dying. Look at the lawmaker that came for Goroyo constituency. We wanted to talk about electronic voting. But the issue was so pertinent that the lawmaker felt pain and he had to talk about what's happening to his people. So should we say he should not talk about it on air? That's the balance we are putting. So we are reporting what is happening out there. If it's declining, we will report. We'll be so glad. And please, this is not personal. We are not here to bring down any government. We don't care. We want government to succeed because if it succeeds, it affects us.
Absolutely.
But if things are bad, we have to report it. Like Tundu said, I love road trips, but I can't dare take a car now, get in the car and say I want to drive to Kainji Dam.
No.
It's not possible. So we keep reporting it. We too, we are looking forward. I know, okay, in the bid of selling hope, like Dr. Abati said, we are looking forward to the day that will say insecurity declining in Nigeria. I will so be proud of that headline.
Well said.
But is it declining today? No, insecurity is rising.
Well said. We'll take another story. The federal government on Monday announced that the criminal charges filed against Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, have been amended to a 7-count charge as against the 5 counts he was previously charged, bordering on treasonable, felony, and terrorism. The case, which is scheduled for 21st of October, has caused apprehension among social cultural groups in the Southeast. The Ohanese and Igbo worldwide has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu will appear in court as scheduled to prove to the global community that the IPOB leader is hale and hearty, while warning against usurping the judicial process. Well, in the meantime, the leader of the Islamic Movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibraheem El-Zakzaky, and his wife, Malama Zeenah Ibrahim, have filed a fundamental rights enforcement suit against the Department of State Services and the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to challenge the seizure of their international passports. They said the seizure of their passports by the respondents constituted a threat to their lives, since they have denied them the opportunity to seek urgent medical attention outside the country, as recommended by their physicians. Tundu Abiola, over to you for your analysis on this story.
I like the way you've juxtaposed the two stories. Thank you for that, Ochi. It's really quite worrying, the call even to be made that Nnamdi Kanu is produced in court, that it even has to be said, tells you a lot about our judicial system and the faith a lot of people repose in that system. Because of the gravity of the offenses that he's been charged with, you don't get more serious than that apart from murder, terrorism, treasonable, felony. These are capital offenses. So it's looking also, obviously, politically tinged. So he really might not be produced. But I would also join to implore the federal government to produce him so that people at least see him, and not to ban the press from the court, as is also being expected that will happen. The media should be able to report. People should know these are very serious allegations. And it obviously affects even the unity of this country, which is really sacrosanct as far as I'm concerned. But in some minds, not quite. So all these things need to be addressed. We need to see justice being done, and it needs to be done timelessly, and it needs to be shown that he actually has not been tortured in detention, which a lot of people believe that he is. It's extremely important to sort of just lower the temperature in this country. As for El-Zakzaky, and the reason why you juxtaposing the story for me serves as a warning. You'll recall that since the legal travails of El-Zakzaky and his wife in December 2015, the courts have upheld their no-case submission twice. essentially saying they have no case to answer, and they are still not free. The federal government has held them. The federal government has consistently flouted court orders, we've seen. Even when they went to India for medical treatment, they got there and were complaining that where they've been taken for medical treatment is completely out of the question. They've been banned from seeing their own physicians. Their human rights have been trampled on. And we also see, similar with some echoes of this Nnamdi Kanu's case, allegations of the federal government were in the guise of the Nigerian army massacring the Shiites. They claimed thousands were killed. The Kaduna judicial inquiry said 349, including one soldier. Should there even have been one person who died so horribly? And it's not just Buhari's government, I must stress. The El-Zakzakys also claimed that some of their children and followers were killed under Goodluck Jonathan's administration. So we see how rights are trampled upon. When you become an enemy of the state, literally anything can happen to you. That is the long and short of it. It's worrying.
Well said, Tunde Abiola. Rufai, your analysis on this topic real quick.
For me on this, the political temperature in Nigeria is high. That's the truth. I can't say it's low because somebody wants me to say it's low. It is high. What's the bone of contention? Nnamdi Kanu. You've taken this man to court. I haven't heard they've increased the charges again.
Yes.
No, that's what I just said.
Truth is, let him have his day in court. I don't understand this playbook where, and it's not only this government, like you said, I would even dial back to Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. This playbook of, okay, let's keep people in jail till the end of my tenure. Remember that was what happened at Sari Dokubo? I don't understand that playbook. Let him have his day in court. Let him be tried. If the court says, go, let him be free man.
Yes.
If the court says otherwise, let the rule of law take its course.
Yes.
Why do we have a federal government? It's for the federal government to be the custodian of the law. 3 forms of government. I didn't do government in school. The sciences I did. The legislature will make the law, judiciary interprets, executive, what do? They implement.
Absolutely.
So if those that are supposed to ensure that the law is not broken are the ones breaking the law, then it is shocking. Look at the El-Zakzaky's case. They've said no case against El-Zakzaky, even federal courts. And it's so funny that if this same federal courts rules to favor the federal government, they will take it. That's when you start hearing we got a court judgment. We got an ex parte. But now this same court has said, let him go. You don't want to let him go.
Why? Well, you know that both of them are charging 2 billion naira to the respondents, both DSS and Malami, because of the trample on their freedom of movement and also damages as well.
Okay, part of the gravamen of justice dispensation, at the heart of which is the right to fair hearing, Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution. And Section 36 simply means, it has quite a number of provisions. It means that, look, there is a procedure under which you can be charged to court, and you have rights even when you are accused, and you are considered innocent until you are proven guilty. There is also, within the justice dispensation system, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, May 2015, the last piece of legislation that President Jonathan signed into law, and it's being applied. What it means is that, look, you cannot delay justice unnecessarily, because justice delayed is justice denied. So, and that's part of the point that, counsel to Nnamdi Kanu and Ohanaeze Ndigbo are making. If this man has committed any offense, you can't keep holding on to him indefinitely. Let him appear in court and have the right to defend himself. Now, the state has gone ahead to amend the charges from 5 counts, from a 5-count charge to a 7-count charge. The court of Justice Binta Nyako, before whom is expected to appear on October 21, that's on Thursday, has served both the prosecution and defense counsel a notice, a hearing notice, and it spells out the expectations of the court and the procedure. But what, people expect is that, look, there'll be no hanky-panky, and that the justice administration process would continue apace, and it will have the opportunity to enjoy his rights under the Constitution, the main one being the right to fair hearing. The political side of it is the intervention of Ohanaeze Ndigbo in the Nnamdi Kanu case. Ohanaeze Ndigbo has said, look, he must be produced in court because you really cannot try a man behind his back when he's already in your custody and enough notice has been served. So what they expect is that nobody will now come and say, oh, the DSS, the Department of State Services, refused to produce Nnamdi Kanu because, he has the right to defend himself within the law in a court of competent jurisdiction. And Ohanaeze Ndigbo raised a number of points additionally. That one, why is it that the federal government of Nigeria will be discussing and negotiating with Miyetti Allah, which in some other jurisdiction is considered a terrorist organization? But then, some other groups in Nigeria, the government will say we don't negotiate with them, we don't talk to them because they have been proscribed or we consider them terrorists. Two, the same Ohanaeze Ndigbo says that, look, the issues that Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB are fighting for, they are issues that are related to the political fortunes and the place of the Igbos within the Nigerian Federation. Three, they called on the delegation led by Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife to make sure that they appear in court on Thursday and to keep an eye on the proceedings with regard to Nnamdi Kanu and ensure that justice is done. These are the issues. As regards El-Zakzaky and his wife, this is a fundamental rights enforcement suit on both sides. You can't just seize a man's passport. Only a court of law, a court of proper jurisdiction can hold on to your passport. Thank
you for that clarification.
Right? So, and that is not the case in this matter. What Femi Falana SAN, the lawyer to the El-Zakzakys is saying is that at one point the passport was seen with the Nigeria Intelligence Agency. At another time, it was said that the passport was with the Department of State Services. On another occasion, the lawyers went to Nigeria Immigration Service to get another passport for the couple. They were told that their passports have been flagged by the Department of State Services. Okay, which court of law gave that order? So the main argument here, and I hope that they will go to court, they will be allowed to have a day in court and pursue their matter, because there is the right to property involved. There is the right to the freedom of movement involved. And there is also the right to fair hearing. And there is even all of this relating to the right to life and the dignity of the human person. Whatever the issues are, whatever the politics is, the rights of individuals should be respected. This is the main point with regard to both Kanu and the El-Zakzakys.
We'll take our final story. Musician Folarin Falana, better known by his stage name Falz, on Sunday during the 2021 Celebration, an annual music festival in memory of Fela Kuti, the late Afrobeat pioneer, urged the crowd at the African Shrine to come out en masse for the first anniversary of the NSAS protest, slated for October 20th. Let's take a look.
October 20th, not the problem is. Police commissioner said no one come outside. But I hear these guys. They say on that very day, make we no come out. No matter how many they be, as I talk to you now, police don't station for 2 days. But we will come out and we will not come out.
Well, I believe the Lagos State Police Command has come out to say that they are going to protect the protesters that are going to come out tomorrow. So hopefully, that happens and they're not going to trample on their right to protest. Well, that's all.
They can have a meeting point, but they can't block roads.
Right. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oji.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.